Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent with Listings to Leads. Can you let me know if you can hear me and see my screen? We had a strange error on Facebook just now. Okay, I see people coming in from Long Beach, from Sarasota, from Nashville. Can everybody hear me right now? Just put it in the comments panel. Get started. Stings. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Stacia. And today there have been a lot of tools that we've had for many years that have generated listings for our clients. But I can tell you in 2025, there have been some dramatic changes and improvements, which are working incredibly well. And so I'm going to kind of list a few things that you should be thinking of right off the bat. If you're writing anything down, please write down these notes. I'm going to list 5 things I think are very important. 1, at the top of the list is expired marketing. Okay. 2nd on the list is open house marketing. 3rd on the list is our listing presentation. And 4th is our Facebook ads and our nearby homeowner letter. Okay. There's 5 things there. There are a lot of other tools that'll help you capture leads, but these things are working incredibly well right now. And so we'll dive into that in just a minute. Okay. And if we go into the class if we go into our account here, usually a pop up, and please take a minute to read what's there. I couldn't get mine to activate because I've logged in this morning, but we are hosting expired workshops, and starting in January, it'll be twice a week at 7 a.m. Pacific and at 4 p.m. Pacific. And you definitely want to get in there. Let's see if I have, this is where you order them that are expired, but this is the page right here. So this page will be popping up on when you log into your account. And I want to point it out because we're, like I said, 2 workshop classes every day. You can order your books like this. And let me just show you real quickly, expired. We have a print version of our listing presentation right here, which people are using for expired. And if you look down here, you'll see some of the stories that have been recently happening. And we'll be talking a little bit about those. I'll send this to everybody on the call right now because you may need this in the future. And so before we dive into the details of those things that I just mentioned, I want to point out the resources because I'll start going fast. You're often going to not remember half of what Scott or I are saying in calls. And so I want to point you to the area where there's really some help for you. And that's up here on the top left in the marketing calendar. There's a calendar and there's some daily activities. You can certainly do those if you have some downtime. But I want to point out up here on the top of this banner, it says resources. And resources has some very solid resources. We're going to go check them out in a minute. 1, our overall mastermind group is here. Okay. And this is a private group for our clients. And you can you can go in there, you can ask questions. You'll see other agents are asking questions. They're also sharing what's working, what they're doing. And sometimes they're sharing what's not working. They're trying something and it just doesn't work. We have live classes right here. And you can also find this page at the bottom left called leadgenwebinars.com. And then we also have every class that we're doing, including this one, Charles DeStaff. This is being recorded and it's right here on this YouTube channel. And honestly, I recommend all of you spend some time on this page. And I'm going to point out, particularly related to this call right here, what you need to be checking out. Because I'm going to give you some highlights and some ideas of things that we're seeing. But I really think you want to hear it from the agents that are actually making this work for them. So this is our videos page on our YouTube channel. And I'm going to scroll down because there are a couple of important videos here. And let's see, where are they? Yeah, so that's kind of one there. You see this one here? It says Scott Murray, success with expireds. This gentleman added 2.7 million to his pipeline in 3 days of door knocking with this little pamphlet I'm showing you in my hand. Okay. Now there is some strategy of how to approach when to approach an expired listing, how to approach it. But the guy will tell you in that call right there, Scott will tell you, he really likes to door knock and he's got a really unique way of doing that. And if you feel comfortable in door knocking, I definitely recommend that you check that out. Okay. Also here, well, this call here is about an agent who signed up with us just recently. And one day after she signed up, she had a listing appointment. She took our listing presentation, and you should watch that call. It's only 4 minutes long. She actually says, yeah, they asked her, where do I sign? Right. I had a call this morning with an agent and said, how do I convert leads? And I had to explain, like, just show them a listing presentation, and that's going to convert your leads. Are the expired daily calls daily? Are they recorded? Those are not, Kim. I don't think those are recorded. But Scott does a couple of calls, and you can see them on this page, which are big in-depth expired calls. So you can look at expired listing right here. So if we keep going down this list, here you will see John Summers. And John has a really awesome voicemail. Okay. Like he has an unassuming call. He reaches out to expireds and he says, I'd really just like to meet you. Don't even want to give you a presentation. I just want to give you something. And what is he giving people? Our handy dandy expired listing print in print, right? Now you'll tell from that call, people are inviting him in and they are having big, long conversations about listing their home. So the point is, we've got a killer listing presentation and expireds need to sell their home. You need to put these two things together. And JJ here is really a great story. The cool thing about JJ is she's been out of high school for 3 years and a realtor for just over 1 year and has 4 listings in 6 weeks. She is calling her expireds. Okay. She's leaving messages. Nobody answers. And then she texts them the listing presentation and she picks up 4 listings in 6 weeks. Okay. So those are the things I think you definitely want to check out right away when you can. Because honestly, if you need listings in your business for 2026, you need to have this to be part of your business, a serious part, not like something you touch once and you forget about. This will be the number one source for you to get more listings in 2026. Now, I want to point out also on the marketing calendar, that's our link to our mastermind group. And this is our mastermind group right here. This is an overall private group, definitely talking a lot about listing presentations right now or about fired marketing. So there's a lot to learn here. I definitely recommend getting familiar with everything that's been going in the past few months here. We also have a separate mastermind group on Facebook for helping agents get more listings. And that's with using a listing presentation, targeting expireds, and a lot of other ways, right? But this is like really a group that is really focused on, hey, how can I get more listings leveraging these tools? And you'll see there's a lot of discussion going on here. So get in these 2 groups and that's going to help you out. Okay. So let me get over to the listings and before we dive into a little bit of the nuts and bolts about expireds and open houses and Facebook ads and listing presentations, let's start with the listing presentation and the versions that you have. Now, let me ask real quickly. I see a lot of people on the call. Have all of you seen the listing presentation that is in your account? Because there's one created for you automatically. You go to listings, you go to listing presentation, and you go to listing presentation flipbook. And this has your branding in it, right? In the sign up, when you're a new client with us, you put your headshot in there, you put your colors in there, your palette from your company, and you put your logo in there. So this listing presentation is right away set up for it, right? And you should be looking at this. So are you all client? I see a lot of yeses and I see a lot of nos. If you are clients and you're saying no, are you clients? If you're telling me no, are you a client? Yes or no? This is already sitting here. And if you want more listings, this thing is killing it. Okay. This is, if you read through it, it's what we do automatic. It is part of our listing automation, right? For listings to leads. We do all these things automatically. Everything that we're doing is designed to capture leads. So we're not giving you a lot of work to do, right? Because that's why people come to us. We just help them automate their marketing and get them on social media, get them an email. And we even have QR codes and text codes and everything's mobile optimized, right? Oh, Randy's saying it's all you use. Okay, good. So a lot of you have used this. And if you are you're on this call today to get more listings, you absolutely need to get your arms on this listing presentation. Okay. Now you don't have to read every word of it, but you just have to speak to it. Right? But I want to show you what's really creating the listings right now. So when we talked about expireds, you can actually create a listing. Let me show you real quickly. I'm on the listings page. There's a green button that says add listing. I can manually add a listing. And this is where the listing presentation becomes relevant. Okay. Sometimes agents do this because there's a listing that didn't show up in their account, but it's always like just listed as status. But if you change it to listing presentation, or you go down here to the bottom and you say it's canceled or expired, or it's a FISBO, all of these are going to create, let me just click on listing presentation. It's going to ask them for the seller's name and contact info, little headline you can ignore, the address, and you can ignore the rest and just save and add one photo. Right. Randy is saying it's a game changer. It is no question about it, a game changer. It's no question about it. And so you need to get super familiar with this. You need to start understanding how to get seller leads, and then use the listing presentation to close those leads. Okay. And I'm going to show to the main page here. And I have a property here that's canceled. I have a FISBO. I have a listing presentation, but I'm just going to go to the expired one. And we don't market these. We don't create virtual tours. We don't syndicate these things because they're really just presentation. They're used for a presentation. But this particular home, I have a flip book version. And so when I was showing you my listing presentation, which I said all of you have, right? Everybody has this in your account already. This is direct, right? It's more about what you bring to the table, right? But when you create a listing for a unique home, it's going to have totally different. It's going to have their name, and it's going to have a picture of their home right on the cover. Owner, and that's going to be the address of the home. And the picture of the home as you go through the presentation is their home, right? That's really the point of it. It's, hey, because remember when you talk to an expired, they literally tried to sell their home, right? And it didn't sell. We don't know the reason why, but that's not really the point. But we do know if you give them a very compelling story of how you're going to sell it, they're going to want you to sell their home. And as I go through this, and as you go through this, you want to know what QR codes are. And you want to say, hey, homeowner, why don't you, while we're sitting here at the kitchen table, why don't you take your phone out and take a picture of that and watch what happens. And what happens is their home pops up on a mobile optimized website on their phone. And if somebody didn't sell their home in the past, one of the reasons that agents say, and certainly when they're canceled, the agent who is listing my home isn't doing anything. I literally had that conversation with a few agents recently. And so the home expires or it gets canceled. This right here is going to spell out everything you're going to be. And it's thorough. There's no agents able to tell this story. And they certainly, even if they could, it's not automatic. We're not automatically doing agents would take a long time to do everything that we do automatically for you. So that's the short story. If you watch our expired calls, you're going to hear when and how to approach them. You're going to see some other kind of things for expireds, right? So that's the high level. We don't want to go too deep in that today. But like I said, we have workshops going on. We have deep classes on expireds. They are on our YouTube channel. And we have a working group as a mastermind inside of Facebook. So that should be part of your business for sure. If you want more listings in your business. I see a question here. Have you ever told them a price and then started taking things away? Matt, that's an interesting question, but I haven't done that. I don't know about the others, but I can tell you this, what we've already had as feedback from clients is they're literally so when you present this with their home in it, And it's very easy to create the listing presentation. It takes about, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes. It's sold. Your commission structure is intact because they can see everything you're going to be doing. And we have had on many occasions, agents say that before they're done, the homeowner is asking, where do I sign? The question about commission. It's just, I see what you're going to do and I'm in it. Can I add buyer personas to the presentations? I don't exactly know what that means. Yes, I don't know what that means, but let me answer the question perhaps that you haven't asked is, you really can't customize this. You can't add things to this. What you can do is change your colors and change the photograph and change the address so that it is about a particular home. But there's a page halfway through, there's a coming soon page. You can take that out if you don't do coming soons in your market, right? But you can't really add things to that, right? So as a reminder, you can use that listing presentation with cancels, with FSBOs, and with listing, just a straight listing presentation. So, you get a lead and how do you convert that? So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to jump course where I thought I was going to go here to give you an easy way to get seller leads. Okay. So this is an easy way to get seller leads. So let's just talk about it. I've got a sold property in my account. And let's say you're farming an area and you don't actually have any listings in there, but you borrow one from a colleague or a friend. And if it's sold in that farm area, you should put it in here and you should do what I'm about to show, right? So you can add a listing. It doesn't have to be yours into the account. This one is sold. I'm going to click market listing. And there's two things that actually you definitely want to be doing to get more listings from that. One is use our nearby homeowner letter. Homeowner letter has for many years been the top tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay. I can't say that really much anymore because the expired marketing has just exploded. Okay. But there are 3 letters that look different, but they're all the same thing. Okay. So let's look at it and see why this letter is important to getting listing. So a lot of our clients use this letter every time that they have a new listing. They want to mail out, hey, just listed. A lot of our clients will use it when they just sold something and this home is sold. So the letter is going to be updated with that language, right? And a lot of our clients use it in open houses, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But you see here, this letter is pretty quick. It's light, right? Not a heavy read. Hey, just want to let you know, we sold this home. Go check it out here or here, scan or go to that link. And that affects your home value. Go here, take this piece of paper to your own computer and go to this website and get your free home value, right? That's the nature of the nearby homeowner letter, right? Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to show you an easier way to get seller leads, but easier doesn't mean they're higher quality, right? It just means they're easier to get. Now, with this, if you're mailing this to people with homes in the neighborhood and somebody opened that piece of mail and walked to their own computer and gave you their address and email address, that is a high quality lead. Okay. But if you mail out a batch of 100 of these, you might get 1 or 2 leads, but they're high quality leads, right? And there's a cost to mail out 100 pieces of mail like that, right? You can just think about that, right? What does it cost to get those 2 really high quality leads, right? Now, this company here is called Express Copy. And if you're new to us, that button will be green. And I have an account with Express Copy. So now I connected it. And if I click print and mail, Express Copy does something really cool. And if I click this button here, get mailing list, they will mail it. They'll download the letter for you. They'll fold it and they'll mail it in a 1 or 2 or 3 mile radius or whatever to single family homeowners that have owned their homes for more than 6 years. Okay. That's something that you want to do. I noticed that a lot of agents like to mail out just sold postcards. And I noticed that on those postcards, all they have is their phone number. Call me. And let me tell you, people are not super excited about calling realtors. They're just, They're not. But they are definitely interested in finding out more information, especially about their home. And that's what this letter does. Yes, your phone number is on this, and they can call you, but they would much rather just go to that link and go find out what their home is worth right now. And that's why this letter can be so valuable to you. Now, it does cost almost $200 to get 100 pieces out, but if you get one or two good seller leads, great. They get an instant home value, and there you go. And you would have their address and email, which you could start using. But I just want you to know, like that letter, many of our clients mail out when they have something that's just listed or when they have something that's just sold. Now, there are a couple of other companies that for you, right? I'm in our mastermind group and I want to show you something here about that. Has been a long client, oh man, I think for 14 or 15 years now, right? We're only 16 years old. But this is a great story here. So she takes a nearby homeowner letter and she prints 100. Every time she has something just listed, she prints up 100. And every time she has something just sold, she prints up 100. And once she's done doing that, she flips it over and uses Microsoft Publisher to print on the back. So it looks like that. And then hand writes these things, right? Why would Pat go through all that effort when we can do it in 2 clicks in listings to leads? The reason is that she had 4 homeowners calling her on the first batch, just listed, and another 4 homeowners calling her on the second batch. So much higher results when you get somebody to open the letter, right? It's that simple because it's not a heavy duty read here, but you need to get them to open it. The nearby homeowner letter has always been like a big, but I do want to say that you have to convert those leads, right? Now, what else can you do when you have a sold home? The thing I would definitely recommend that all of you do is run Facebook ads. So when you come to your listings, we do all these tools, but these are the things that are going to help you get more listings. So here I click on Facebook and what's going on over here on the right? It says, hey, another home sold in this city that affects your home value. Click here for your home value. That's it. Boom. Click create ad. Now you could, if it's different, the market's different. In the old days, and I have heard this occasionally, this home sold in 10 days, right? It sold 20K above asking. And I know that the market is different. So you're not always hearing these things, but some agents actually do, right? Obviously, if you're pricing, you get some metrics that can make the ad work a little bit better. Don't make it too wordy. Okay. But here is the thing about this ad. And let me ask if I could get a quick yes or no, just a yes or no. Have you run ads with our software on Facebook or in just any ad, not even sold? Just answer that one for me. Now I'm going to click on advanced options and I want you to show you something so that you understand why you need to be doing this. When I click create new form, when people see the ad, it's a preview on the right? And there are some questions that get asked, but full name, email, and phone number is auto-populated. If you're looking at this right now, it's blank. But when the ad is active, whoever clicks on the ad, those fields are filled out. Okay. And that's why clients love this, right? Then if you go through it more, there's some TCPA language, and this is great. Give us your address right now. And if they fill all that out, if you have their phone, name, email, and address, now you can go create that listing presentation for their home. And I guarantee you that's going to close that lead so much faster. Okay. And I got some people, got a lot of yeses and a lot of nos, right? Let me show you something else that's really important and valuable. You see here, it says form questions. So here are the first 3 that we just talked about. Now there's this one that says, what's your time frame to sell? I'm going to turn that off, right? And now there's a question that says, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if the price was right? So that question is showing right there. There's also some others at the bottom of the market or at the bottom of the list. See how AI can help you sell faster for top dollar. Would you like to add that as a question? Would you like to see my 100+ point marketing plan? home value selling options, right? There's just different questions designed for homeowners, right? And you can add those. But the point of it all is that their name, email, and phone number and address should be coming with these leads. And that is really the key. So here's a question here. Let's answer that. Looks like a big one. If we don't have any listings or sold yet, what do you recommend we focus on? Listing packet? I would, if you don't have any listings, focus on expireds first. Okay. And after that, borrow listings and focus on open houses second. And if you can, borrow a listing that is sold and run an ad just like I'm doing here. And if you want, mail out the new right homeowner letter. Do you understand what I'm saying, Melissa? And I hope everybody understands that. Really, if you don't have your own listings, expireds is first. Borrow, and let's jump into the open house story and talk about why would even open houses, funny, why would open houses be relevant in a call to get more listings? And you might have already guessed the reason why, but I'm going to explain it to you nice and clearly. Okay. I want to remind you, we have this fantastic YouTube magnifying glass, and you can type in the words open house, and you definitely want to be watching our open house classes. Okay. Because they are a serious way of getting more. Right. Now I have an open house down here. You see this little red icon? That is a open house. Not sure I understand the borrowed sold yet. Okay. Let's answer that before we move into open house marketing. Okay. So there's something in listings leads that you can do that many agents do. Right. And so one, go to up to your listings and go to add listing and click this button here. It says grab. All right. Now you do this. Maybe you're a new agent and you don't have any listings and you go to your office and say, hey, can I borrow somebody's listings just to market and get some buyers? Right. That's a simple question. And if they say yes, drop in the zip code and MLS ID for that property and deselect this so we don't make a YouTube video for you and click grab and boom, we pull it in. Okay. Clients also do this exact same thing. If they say, hey, do you want me to sit on your open house this weekend for you? And the listing agent says, yes, great, pull it in. But Melissa, you can also say, hey, let's say, Melissa, I don't know what city you're in, right? I live in a city called Lafayette, and right next door is Walnut Creek. And if I wanted to build Walnut Creek, but I don't have any listings, I could talk to one of my colleagues and say, has anybody sold anything in Walnut Creek lately? And if the answer is yes, I would pull that in. I'd have to do that manually because we can't grab a sold property. But now all those tools I just showed you are going to be in the account. Another reason or way to think about this is many agents help people buy a home, right? And so they're helping somebody buy the home so they know that the home is about to close. And they will say, I'm going to pull that in and market that as sold. I know it's sold, but I'm the selling agent. I'm not the listing. So these are some of the ways that you can do this. So all that being said, once you've done that, all the tools I'm showing you are available to drive leads to you. Now, this one, back to the open house. And again, you can borrow a listing to host an open house. If you are trying to build more listings, we have teams hosting 2 to 4 open houses every week because this has been a top source of listings all year long for 2025. The only thing that just knocked that out is our expired marketing. We launched this almost 3 months ago, and this is just going like gangbusters. So you want to have expireds going and you want to be working on open house. And there's a lot of things we do with open houses. Like I said, there's a call on YouTube about open houses, but let's shortcut to why this is such a resource to getting you more listings. And yeah, it's the nearby homeowner letter, right? I showed you the one on the home that was sold. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. But I'm going to show you this one for the open house and then we'll talk about it. I see somebody's question here. So I'm not hating your product. We literally are. Every LPT does. We get a box of 100 that you are talking about right now with a homeowner pick. Okay, Matt, I'm not quite sure what you are talking about. Okay. You have it at LPT. You have our system through LPT. but offer every LPO or LPT does this. Yeah, I have LPT offices using our system. There are a lot of tools that a lot of the agencies out there have. We've been here for 16 years, and we're like in the vendor program for Keller Williams, and we're in super large shops at Coldwell Banker. And I can guarantee you, most brands have, yeah, listing power tools. That's right. Most companies have a lot. If you line up our features, our tools, they sound alike. Virtual tour, e-flyer, print. The biggest difference is typically, do yours capture leads or do yours have your branding situated for you? And almost every top company, I'm not sure about LPT, but every major brand that we all know, your automated branding, your automated marketing tools has your branding and pretty much zero lead count. And that's why people keep coming to us from the biggest franchises, because we have it in our system to get contact information on both buyers and sellers for all of our clients. So check out Brian Mathieson, Matt. He's got with the Eagle Group with LPT from Texas, killing it. And actually, we have a video of him on our YouTube channel of him running sold ads with our software, getting a $4 lead turns into 850 in production, getting a buy and a sell from one lead. So yeah, LPT is great company. Yeah, that's right. I remember what that's all about. So anyway, here we are. We're back to open houses. And this letter right here is the reason why our clients want to be hosting open houses. Because if you run a Facebook app to tell everybody, I got an open house from 2 to 4 on Sunday, awesome. There's going to come probably a lot of buyers, right? People looking to buy a home. But if you take this letter and you door knock it, a 50 or 100 of these, somebody might actually fill that out. We know this. We had a lady this year who printed up 50 of these. She was hosting an open house for somebody else. It wasn't even her listing. She printed 50 of these, door knocked them, and boom, gets a listing just from the piece of paper. Now, what a lot of our clients are dealing with this, though, is they're trying to get the nearby homeowners into their open house. And it says, hey, I got an open house from 1 to 4. Come say hi. If you're door knocking, you say, hi, hey, come over. I'll show you. You're super friendly. That's like a big deal. Now, there's a lot of other kind of cool things about open houses, but I'm going to show you the reason that the things that are converting. So each of you have ADP PDF. You may not know this, but you all have 80 PDF guides that are auto-generated with your colors and your logo and your headshot on every page. And 40 of these are for buyers and another 40 are for sellers. Okay. So if you're inviting buyers into your open house, which you have with your Facebook ad, and you're inviting homeowners into your open house with the nearby homeowner letter, you should probably take half of these PDF guides or a few and choose the ones that you think are going to be relevant to those kinds of home buyers. I got one here. It says how to sell a home in a changing market. Okay. If I click on marketing tools and I go to print flyers, you're going to notice that we've got a bunch of print flyers for you, right? And if anything is done in print with us, there's a QR code automatically associated, right? So I'm going to download this one, and you should be hosting open houses, even if they're not your open houses. If you want more listings, that's going to be a major resource for you for getting more listings. Okay. So that's number one, right? 2, you want to make sure you're getting nearby homeowners letters out so that you're inviting the neighbors. And 3, you want to print 3 of these for buyers and 3 of these for sellers, different topics, right? And then once you print those, you go over to Office Depot or something like that, and you buy the little acrylic tabletop stands. You can buy them on Amazon, right? You put a piece of paper in there. You put one in the laundry room. You put a different one in the master bedroom. You put a different one in the office. So as people are walking through that open house, they are realizing you are the realtor, right? And you're actually offering value. If they want that report, they can download it right then and there. They just got to scan it with their phone and give you their contact information. So you're using the open house to show your value. And lastly, I've been talking a lot about our listing presentation, and You know that you can create one uniquely for a house. You know that you can have just like standard listing presentation, right? But we also have something available for you. It's a 5-minute commercial of our listing presentation. It's right here. And it's a video format. So not all of our clients are doing this, but boy, you should be doing this. You can practice this at home. You can actually go home to your smart and to this video. It's going to pop up in a second here. Effective. I think anywhere between these tools. Yeah. So let's see here. Say, believe me, every time I do an open house, I have your video going with your marketing product. Oh, awesome, Matt. That's great. So I want you to pay attention to the title here. If you write that down and you point your smart TV to that, the long version, it's a 5-minute version. It's a 5-minute commercial. Groovy music playing in it. You can turn it. You might like Enya or whatever it is that you like, right? But have this video playing on a 60 or 80-inch smart TV as people are walking through the home, because it's telling them how you sell homes. And if you took the time to get the nearby homeowner letter for those neighbors who own homes to come check out this open house, they're going to want to have a conversation with you. My sound is going in and out. Oh, that's probably because I got too much writing. Thanks for that. That right here. And that's definitely you want to be using. Okay. So let's tie up, because we've talked about a few things. We've talked about running Facebook ads. We've talked about creating listing presentation. We've talked about expireds and open houses. And we've talked about the nearby homeowner letter, right? So will this video be available for replay? You must be late, Jocelyn, because that's the thing I said first when we started the call. This call is being recorded and it is on our YouTube channel, which is over here. And if you're in your account and you go to marketing calendar and resource channel, and this class will be right here. Okay. Let's see. Yes. So in order to get there, go to the marketing calendar on the top and there will be a read that. So since we're on the PDF guide section, I do want to point out something that we don't talk much about, but it's actually very relevant to getting listings. If you click on PDF guides, we have a lot of ways of marketing these. There's 40 of these that are already branded to you. And the new ones are up here, but I'm going to show you one of our clients who's taking this one. You see this 12 mistakes to avoid? Click on marketing tools, and this gets you to the area where you can market this, right? And you can market this with, we'll see it in just a sec. You can market them online with paid ads. You can share them for free on social media, and you got email that you can blast out. And you can even run ads on Google, and those leads cost more. All right. But they are higher quality leads than Facebook. So remember, you've got 40 PDF guides. So before I go further into that, I want to talk a little bit about lead conversion, because when you're hosting and when you present them either with the print version or the electronic version of our listing presentation, you are right there. And that conversion is happening in moments, like in hours or days, not months or years. When you capture a lead from Facebook or Google, those leads can often take months or years to convert. So that's also true about open house marketing, right? If you run a Facebook ad to tell people about your open house, that's a slightly different kind of lead, right? They're looking by, they know that's time sensitive. They're going to get in there, right? But running ads and capturing leads on Facebook or Google, the Google will be higher quality leads. The cost per lead will be higher, but you still have to convert a lead. And there's a whole lot of things going on to convert leads. Do you text them? Do you call them? Do you both? Do you email them? What do you do? Most agents don't have that part of the business sorted out. That's why you want to focus on expired and open houses, because boy, the conversion is compressed into just a matter of hours or days. Okay. And that's super, super important, because if you want listings, you want to get leads that don't convert in a year or two. You want a lead that's going to convert in a week or two. And that's where expires and open houses are way more valuable to you. But that being said, we've had clients come right in here and run ads on Google with our PDF guides and get listings and convert those very quickly. I've had clients convert a Facebook ad. I mentioned this about our client at LPT. Captures a lead in the morning, texts them that morning, closes a meeting in the afternoon, and pulls 850 in production from one $4 lead on Facebook. That doesn't happen all the time, but that does happen, right? And they have AI text follow-up. We have AI text follow-up. You have to have some resources and a really solid plan to convert. And I can tell you that particular guy, Brian Matheson, he generated from one ad 114 buyer leads from one listing in Texas. Okay. And I converted 4 of those into homes, right? Into purchasing home. So you can convert them. You have to be really solidly able to do that. And I just think not a lot of agents do, but most agents are very personable, and meeting people face to face, they can definitely close business. And that's why you want to be thinking of this as expired and stuff and open houses. Now, I will say this as well. You'll see something here that says e-flyer for your database. And I haven't mentioned this much today, but we have e-flyers for your database for your listings. So you could, when it's just listed or open house or sold. We also have them for all of our PDF guides, and there are 40 of these for homeowners, right? That link and that picture is going to be able to help them download this. And then that link right there is get your free home. So you should be blasting this out. Just go copy this right here and blast it out on your CRM once a week. Once a week. You don't know when people are thinking of selling. Do you have a follow-up system that is automatic when a lead comes in? Yes, Jocelyn. Actually, 2. One, over here on the far left, we have follow-ups. And these are email follow-ups. Okay, drip campaigns. That's what they are. And we have them for buyers, and when you're capturing a buyer lead or seller lead, we know what kind of lead it is, and we're going to send the right thing. And I will say this, our drip campaigns are better than 95% of all the CRMs that you know, and even the ones you don't know. We actually embed our PDF guides and our landing pages into those. And the way that we write them, they're very brief. I see all the drip campaigns, and you know what they are? They're really wordy about something going on in real estate. And unfortunately, nobody can read anymore. We're now on 5 to 15-second sound bites and videos. Nobody's going to read that stuff. And that's why those things don't even convert. Ours actually get open, they get in the inbox, and they close appointments. So I would definitely recommend, Jocelyn, if you don't have a CRM, that you use this. And then down here in the leads tab, and I can't click on it because then that messes up the video, we have AI text follow-up. Okay. And what that means is that we have AI software that will automatically reach out to the leads. And it just texts some very simple questions about their inquiry. And it is converting 14% of our leads to a phone call. And we have the whole conversation there. You can watch the conversation on the page, but we'll email it to you and say, hey, they're ready to talk. And that is definitely valuable to have, because capturing leads is great. A lot of our clients get excited, but you don't earn anything on capturing leads. You do when you close a transaction. So converting leads is really important. And I will tell you this just as an aside, we definitely recommend that you're texting those leads. I recommend texting them a half dozen times as soon as you get them, and ask them a very simple one question. Do not write a big paragraph and drop it on somebody's phone. Nobody is going to respond to that. But if you're like, hey, I see you looked at my open house. It's in this neighborhood. Do you live here? Are you moving here? Wait for the answer. No answer. 30 minutes later, hey, that's a 3-2. Is that what you're looking for? Wait for the answer. No answer. Next question. Price. Blah, blah, blah. That way they know who you are, because if you get that lead and it has a name, email, and phone number, they are literally looking at it and giving it to you. Like, we're not scamming it from the background, right? They want that answer. You want the answer on this open house? Do you want your home value? Do you want to know about this home that's for sale? Whatever it is, they are literally looking at a page on Facebook that says, yes, submit my info. Okay. So they're looking at their name, email, and phone number, and they know they're sending it to you. And you can call them that instant. And you know what they're going to say? I don't know what you're talking about. And that's because they don't know you. And there are far too many scams in this world. So text those leads a few times before you call them. You'll have a better chance of converting those leads. And we have on the leads tab over here, we have our own AI text follow. Like I said, it's converting 14% of our leads to phone calls. And that's really what you want. You want to talk to people, right? So again, that gets back to open houses and expireds. You are literally talking to those people. So what else let's talk about landing pages. And there is landing pages. There's an important thing that I always, when you log in to listing to leads, the very first time, you actually have a stack of land. We set them up, and you may never know that, but there is one landing page that you do know, but you don't know how it got there. And let me show you what that is. So we call it free home values right here. Okay. And I noticed at the beginning of the call, there are people from all over the country. I'm going to click on the pencil here so that I can edit this, right? Because if that doesn't look like your area, you might want to edit that. You might want to change that background picture, right? And let's look at it real quickly. And let me show you that background. We have clients in Arizona, Seattle, and this doesn't look like that. We have a lot of clients on the coast shores of Florida, right? Their areas don't look like this. So you can just go right over here to background and change that photo over here. Homeowner letter. It's pointing to that page, right? That link right there. But also, if you just have a straight listing or you have an open house and you have our virtual tour or whatever, there are those options is, what is your home worth? Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, it's taking a second to pop up, but it pops up in a couple of areas. And if it doesn't look like your area, it's not going to be very effective for you. So take a moment, because when you get to the landing page, it's the number one landing page there, right? Now, there are other landing pages and you can create your own, but I do want to point out, so if you go to create landing page, you might want to create a property valuation landing page for each one of those towns. You just choose that, you put in the name of the town, and then you put in a picture that looks like that area, right? I've got one here for San Antonio, right? And on San Antonio, I have a picture of the Riverwalk, right? So you want something that looks like something that everybody would know, that shows people, you know, their area, right? Because what the landing page does is ask them for their address and their contact information. And putting that on a random website is not everybody's favorite thing to do. So you do have to establish some sort of trust, because they may have never met you, right? And at that point, having a photograph that looks like their area that they recognize is going to make that page work a lot better. Once you've created that landing page, you can click on marketing tools. And just like the PDF guides, you can be running ads on Facebook. You could be running ads on Google. You could be running ads you could be using the e-flyer and blasting everybody in your leads, right? On your seller lead. Landing pages are definitely a real way to do it. Again, you're capturing leads and you got to convert leads, right? And that can take a while, but you can see here, you can run ads on Facebook. You can run ads on Google. You can share them for free to your social media accounts. And I will tell you one thing, one of our clients who's actually in San Antonio, he creates a landing page for his market and he goes over here and gets postcards and door hangers. And this may work for some of you, but not all of you. Oh, sound is getting bad. I'll wrap it up here. He will download this and send it to Vistaprint. Okay. And then just walk the neighborhoods. The door hanger has a QR code that a person can quickly get their home value. So if he is door knocking or just hanging this and walking, he's getting seller leads before he even gets back to the office. And that is Vistaprint. You can print this wherever you want to print it. I know he was telling me it's very inexpensive there. You do. So let me close some pages. It sounds like my audio is getting a little wonky. That's my story, everybody. Do you have any questions about anything that we're talking about here? Can you hear me? Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. I'm just closing some things in case this is like messing up my audio. I want to thank you for being here, everybody. I hope this helps you. Definitely, you're on this call to get more listings. The things I've shown you today are getting listings, and especially our expired marketing and especially our open house marketing. So don't neglect those. These other ways of capturing leads, yeah, lots of ways to capture leads, but you got to convert that. If a new agent just signed up, where would you suggest they start? Are you new to us, Anisi, or are you new to the industry? It is very powerful, Melissa. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. I would start, Anisi, by borrowing listings that you can hold open houses for and use our open house marketing system. You guys can you're welcome to email me. I have an email on expired marketing, which is useful. I have a separate email on open house marketing. I'm sending you my email address right now, vince@listings2leads.com. And I have even a quick video on how to create that unique listing presentation for a FSBO, for an expired, for a seller lead. And that's where I would start. I would focus, like I said at the beginning of the call, open house marketing, expired marketing, or listing presentation, and Facebook ads. These are the things that you need to be doing continually. You will have a great year if you can do that. Is the AI text follow-up additional charge? Yes, Aaron, it is. It starts at, I think, $50 a month for 50 new leads a month. So you really want to use this if you're focused on Facebook ads, because Facebook ads come with phone numbers, and the AI text only works leads with phone numbers. I can't show it to you because it kind of messes up our video here. When it comes to Facebook ads, we highly recommend you're running a couple of ads every week, even if they're $50 ads. That would get you to right around 100 leads a month from Facebook with name, email, and phone, depending on the kinds of things you're doing. You're welcome. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, get to this marketing calendar page, and up at the top, I'll show you there. And then I'm happy to answer any questions, but I don't see any. There's a resources tab up here. That's our YouTube channel. That's our Facebook Mastermind group. That is our live webinar class. You can also find this page on leadgenwebinars.com. So thanks, everybody. Also, I didn't mention it. If you need a team account, reach out to me, Vince at Listings to Leads. They're super discounted and month to month, just like everything else. Take care, everybody, and have a happy new year. Okie doke. Bye-bye.